All right, all right. Shabbat shalom, brothers and sisters out there. Like I said, I was coming back. Hebron Ben Bilal coming back at you with this lesson for you today, which was going to be an intriguing one. Not a challenging one, just an intriguing one. Y'all know what to do, man. If you like these videos, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, man. Tomorrow, as I had promised, tomorrow I'm actually going to go on and do a PSA, a public service announcement. Announce the donation page that we're coming up with for the community, and start to get these nonprofit things as well as the GMEC or our banking system together. So we're going, Yahweh willing, we'll put those things together tomorrow. Okay, first and foremost, let me give thanks, all praises, and honor to Abba Yahweh. Just thanking him for the opportunity through his Mashiach, or his Ben, Yeshua, for giving us the opportunity, man, to come together, man, today on this Shabbat and talk about this particular subject. I'm not going to run long with it. I'm going to make this thing brief, but I'm going to be concise and make sure that you guys get this. Now, I've been seeing videos pop up about a question that I was asked by an officer before I left prison. The question was about Yeshua, Yehoshua, Jesus, whatever you would like to call him. I'm just going to use Jesus for this particular topic or conversation piece. But the question that he asked me when he found out that I was an Israelite was that I believed that one had to believe that Yeshua or the Messiah was a black man in order to be saved. I had pondered that for a while. I knew the way that I would answer it, but, you know, at that particular time, I said, that's something I really don't, a lot of times I don't like to get into those places with Christians because they could become real argumentative and, you know, the relationship can kind of fall to the wayside. So I really didn't really get into it then, but I would like to take the opportunity to get into it now because I've been seeing a lot of videos pop up where they've been talking about that skin color doesn't matter. I seen Geno Jennings do something the other day. I don't know if it was the other day or it was an old video. It just popped up on my timeline where he's telling the Hebrew Israelites that the skin color doesn't matter, white, black, this and this. It don't matter what color the Messiah was, and don't matter about who, you know what I mean? So he went into that whole spiel, and I've heard others do the same. So today I will answer the question, and I'm going to give you both sides of the argument in regard to, like I always do, in regard to, in order to be saved, do you have to believe that the Messiah was black? And how can we authenticate that? And I'm not going to run and use Revelations because I know a lot of people want to use that, but we will get to that. First, we're going to look at Yeshua himself and his words and what he said in regard to what it takes to gain salvation. So the first place I want to go to is John 7:38. John 7:38. In John 7:38, Yeshua would have been making this proclamation at one of the feast days. And he said, in the last day, we're going to start at 7:37. This is Yeshua. In the last day, that great day of the feast, this would be the Feast of Tabernacles, Yeshua stood up and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. But this spake he, Yeshua, of the Spirit, which they that believe on him should receive, for the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Holy Ghost, was not yet given, because that Yeshua was not yet glorified. He had not died yet. So the one thing that Yeshua pointed out was, listen, in order to gain salvation, you have to believe everything that it talks about in the scriptures in accordance to me. What scriptures would he have been talking about? He wasn't talking about some futuristic scriptures, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the New Testament. He wasn't talking about that. He was talking about the Tanakh, the Torah, the overall Old Testaments, the prophets, the Psalms, Moses. Let's go to real quick 1 John 1 and 4. And there's something interesting that's being said there that allows you to understand exactly what I'm expressing to you. So 1, John 1 and 45. Oh, excuse me, I'm all the way in the wrong place. All right. Okay. And the day following, Yeshua would go forth into Galilee. I'm starting at 43. And findeth Philip and said unto him, Follow me. Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip findeth Nathanael and said unto him, We have found him of whom Moses and the law and the prophets did write, Jesus or Yeshua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph or Joseph. So understanding there had to be some type of way that they could authenticate that this man was actually the Messiah. How was that? Yeshua told you first, believe everything that's written in the scriptures about me. In accordance to what the scriptures, if you want to be saved, you want to gain salvation, if you believe what's in the scriptures that have been written about me, this is how you can get it. You see an example of this being spoken about in with Philip, where he's telling them, he said, listen, we found him, the ones that Moses and the prophets was talking about in the scriptures. So how did they know that it was him? Did they just look at him and say, oh yeah, that's him? No, there was authenticating prophecies. Everybody knew the prophecies. Everybody understood what would authenticate the Messiah when he came. All through the prophets and the Torah and the Psalms, all through the prophets, the Torahs and the Psalms, you had explanations or prophecies of what to look for in regard to the Messiah. What would authenticate him? I believe it's over 66 prophecies throughout there that all authenticate him, that he'll be a male, he'll be from the line of Judah, that he will heal lepers, he will heal the sick, he will raise the dead, he will be scorned, he'll be spit upon. Many, many prophecies that they had to line up to authenticate this was him. So they knew automatically. Philip and them would have known automatically because they would have known the scriptures. So they would have knew exactly what to look for. So that's why he did not hesitate when he said, hey, look, we found him. There you go. Also, Yeshua said himself when speaking to Peter, Kepha, he said, listen, who do the people say that I am? They gave him a rundown, Elijah, a prophet, such. And he said, but who do you say I am? So Kepha had to give him an answer, and he told him. But he gave him a reason why. He understood these particular things because of the scriptures. The scriptures already laid out exactly what they would look for, from what he would say to what he would do, how he would die, how he would be buried, where he would be buried, how many days he would be in the ground. All of those things were prophetic. So let's go to the prophecies. I just gave you a whole rundown. Now, I'm not going to get back into all the ones that you should be looking at, but let's look at a couple of these prophecies, because not only did it tell about his works and the words that he would say, it gave you physical descriptions in the prophecies about what he would look like. Remember, he said, if you believe on me in accordance to what the scriptures teach or say, you will have salvation, or out of your belly will flow rivers flowing living water. This was salvation. So the first place we're going to look at is Isaiah 53, 1 through 2. Now, here's the thing. With Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, in this particular place, a lot of teachers in Israel teach that this is not actually the Messiah being prophesied. They're talking about Israel as a whole. But I look at this as being a representation of the Messiah because of the things that's being said, and as well as a lot of other brothers, they feel that these are prophecies in regard to the Messiah. So these are important to understand and know that this is a prophetic message in regard to what he would look like. So let's go to 53, 1 through 2, and it says, we're going to start at 1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed. For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of the ground, dry ground. He has no form nor comeliness. And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. First, form, comeliness. He won't be built up. He won't be this sharp-looking dude. He won't have any comeliness, meaning he will not be attractive. Remember what Yahweh what they prophesied. There is no beauty that we should desire him, because understand, humans are driven by what they can see. It's always about, oh man, that girl looks good, or he looks nice, and yeah, he could be, y'all listen to him because he's appealing to what you're looking at. So you're visual, you're catching him, and you say, okay, all right. But Yahweh said, no, I'm not going to make him like that. How I'm going to make the Messiah, he's not going to be attractive. He's not going to have any beauty that you guys is going to desire, because I don't want you following him for those reasons. I want you to follow this unattractive guy that I'm getting ready to establish and put amongst you, and you following because you already know what he's supposed to look like and how he's supposed to behave, the acts he's supposed to commit, and ultimately what's supposed to happen to him. So now we have a physical description that he won't be comely, physically he won't be superior, and he will not have any beautiful attributes that will make one follow him. So now we have a description of probably like a little dude, not too attractive, and really no beautiful features that's going to draw you to him. But let's go to Daniel, because this is another prophet making another prophecy about what the Messiah will look like. Go to Daniel 10. Now remember, you're supposed to believe all this. So definitely that depiction of Zoriel Bogia, the white guy, long hair, pretty, blue eyes, and all that, that cannot fit this description, because he said, no, he must be uncomely. He won't have any beauty because of the fact that that's why you're going to follow him. So no, he's going to be uncomely. He's going to have no form. He's not going to have any beauty. So he's going to be kind of an unattractive cat. So let's go to, like I say, Daniel. Let's hit Daniel real quick. It's like I said, I don't want this to be a long video. This is really a simple topic. So Daniel 10 and 6. Now, here's what's interesting about this, and I'm going to read the footnotes. Daniel 10 and 6. Daniel chapter 10, verse 6. Now, what's going on right here is Daniel is going through this thing. He's fasting, he's praying, he's seeing a lot of visions, he's going through a lot of stuff. Now, at this particular one, he's seeing this man that's standing there, and he's having this vision of this man standing there. And it says that he hadn't eaten, he fasted for a while, and now he's in a place where let me just read verse 3. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth, neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. So he was on this lengthy fast where he was, he was seeing things, messages were getting delivered to him. It was a beautiful time. And then all of a sudden down in 6, but let's read 5 first, because he's laying there and he said, then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Euphrates. His body also was like the beryl, and his face like the appearance of lightning, and his eyes lamps of fire. And this is most important. Now remember, he's seen this man standing here. And he said, and his arms and his feet, his arms and his feet were like the color of polished brass. So let me give you an idea what color polished brass would look like, and probably even a little darker than that. So he was not white. He didn't have long hair. He didn't have these things. This is telling you, look, this is what he looked like when I seen him. Now, here's what the interesting thing is on my footnotes. And this is let me see if I can give you guys the name of it. It's a Keynote Study Bible. It's a King James Keynote Study Bible. It's a very good Bible. I use it because they have the margins where you can follow along with the different things, but I've been using this for years. But the footnote says, now this is coming from Christian theology and dogma, so you can't change this. It says, this is a vision of the Lord Jesus in a pre-carnated appearance. This is him making himself seen by Daniel in the past for what he would look like in the future. Pre-incarnated, meaning he appeared to Daniel at that time, showing him. So you have to understand that if the features did not matter, why were they prophetic? A prophecy that his skin would be dark. Daniel's 10 and 6. That he would have dark arms and very dark feet. Gave his features of his eyes, all that. And in Isaiah, it told you about him not having any beauty or a comeliness. You would not be attracted to him in any way, shape, or form. He wouldn't be an attractive dude, but he would be dark complected. So they gave you a cross-reference for that because this is the Christian footnote. And they gave you a cross-reference, which is a very good one, which sends you directly to Revelations chapter 1. Revelations chapter 1, and all y'all already know what I'm about to read. Now, I ain't going to get caught up on the hair, but I'm going to mention that. Revelations 1 and 1, 14 and 15. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as flames of fire. Now, first off, that's not saying that his hair was peasy. It's just saying that his hair was white. It said his hair and his head and his hair were white like wool. Didn't say that it was nappy or coarse like wool. It said it was white like wool, as white as snow. His head and his hair were white. It didn't say anything about being coarse and woolly like sheep's wool. And his eyes were as flaming fire, and his feet unto the fine brass as they were burnt in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So this is who would have also appeared to Daniel. Now, if this was the individual who appeared to Daniel, and the Christian theologists say it was, we have to believe like Yeshua said. I didn't say it, Yeshua said it. If you believe on him, like the scriptures say, not some picture you drew, but as the scriptures say, that he was healed the sick, that he would raise the dead, that he would prophesy to prisoners in jail, that he would die, he would be buried, he would resurrect in 3 days. All these things that were prophesied about him. If you do not believe that he was an unattractive person, that negates you. You can't make up what you want to make up and determine what the scriptures have said about him, because it never said once that he would be attractive. It said in Isaiah that he would have no comeliness, no beauty, no physical appearance, no form. But of course, y'all going to take that and make those words mean something else, and then y'all going to get away from everything else. Then this pre-incarnation of the Messiah that was given to Daniel in a vision where he's seen this, said he was very dark complected. So do you have to believe what the prophets and what the prophets of Psalm and Moses said about him? Or do we believe a picture that was erected for whatever purposes they erected it? We already know why. But which one do you believe? Because you definitely have to believe the scriptures, because he just told you. In John chapter 7, he said, in order to receive this blessing of the Ruach HaKodesh, you have to believe in him in accordance to what the scriptures say. Philip said, man, look, there you go, the one that Moses and the prophets talked about. This is the guy they're talking about, uncomely and dark-skinned. I didn't make that up. Got it straight out the book. So, to answer your question, yes, color does matter. But if you also go to Thessalonians and Romans, Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3, chapter 2, verse 3, it talks about the man of perdition, or the one who will come and be the Antichrist. Also talks about him in 13 and 14. So how can you be sure to be able to identify him? Because he's going to be doing great signs, works, and wonders, and everybody's going to follow him. But how is one of the ways that we can identify that it's not him? Number one, if he likes Sherry or Bazia, if he looks like that painting, we know that's not him. We have the scriptures. This is why I say this is the blueprint. If you want to follow and understand everything that was going on, you have to go back, refer to the old, and bring it to the new. So once again, brothers and sisters, on this Shabbat, the question is, do you have to believe that he's an unattractive, dark-skinned guy? Yes, because the Torah and the prophets just told us that. So with that, I'm going to say shalom, man. And like I say, the page will be set up tomorrow. If you guys like these videos, man, these little teachings we do, hit the subscribe button, man, and hit that bell. Like I say, I'll be back tomorrow to give you a breakdown on how the donation page is going to work. Love y'all. Y'all have a great Shabbat and have a great day.